My dear INFJ, I am here today to tell you this. You are too much. As we like to say as kids, when met with an insult on the playground, it takes one to know one. I can tell you that you are too intense, too much, and too overwhelming, because guess what? So am I. I think the sooner it starts, this realizing that you're too much, the sooner you start to hide. For me, I had big questions in childhood, strange questions for a child, like, what is eternity? And why am I me? And why am I not my sister or my friend or that man down the road? I got the impression I was too much, in fact, was even told such. When I started this line of questioning, any deep questioning really, my mother told me, "You think too much." I loved my mother, and I know she loved me, but those statements sting a young INFJ. And it did sting. Made me think there was something wrong with thinking too much, something wrong with being intense in my questioning. So I started hiding it immediately, a little here and a little there, until the intensity became something I would only let a very chosen few see. So to start, let me make it clear I am not speaking here of those who are truly insulting you by telling you that you are crazy and meaning it in a derogatory and degrading fashion. If this is true of someone you consider a loved one in your life, you need to reconsider. This too much behavior, this intensity, is something really only those closest to us see. We hide this intensity from the rest of the world. It's the intensity you only reserve for loved ones, for the close relationships. It's the intensity when all those thoughts in your head come together in an aha moment, and they must come out. There's a reason for it, and that's because you just discovered something in your mind. Something has all come together, and it must be outwardly expressed. It's not only the thoughts, but the way the thoughts are expressed. I think if you will be honest with yourself, you can actually feel when the intensity is ramping up, can't you? I know I can. I get very animated. My talking speeds up. I kind of lose sense of where I am. Extroverted feeling goes into overdrive, and once the wave starts, it's not going to stop until it crashes onto the shore. No doubt about it, it is intense. It's like a volcano erupting, a hurricane hitting land, river water suddenly dropping from a cliff, a tea kettle screaming as it releases steam. In a sense, you release the lava, you release the gale force winds, you release the waterfall, you release the steam. Now just stop and think about it. Who was on the receiving end of such intensity? Who was smothered in lava, hit with hurricane force rain and winds, drowned in the waterfall, and burned with steam? Now take another moment and think about it. What must this other person feel like? I'm not saying that we're wrong in this, that we should feel guilty for being this way. Not at all. It truly is who we are, and there is nothing inherently wrong with who you are in this regard. I'm just explaining it so you can see it in yourself, just so you can know what it's like, even though I know you already do, right? You know it deep down inside, but don't choose to think about it in the way that you should. I'm just putting it into words so you can try to empathize with the loved one who is being buried in molten lava or drowned in the waterfall. I do it to my loved ones. I used to get hurt when I saw them there, gasping and trying to raise their head out of the lava so they could breathe. I'm too much, I would think, and I would feel stupid and dumb and just disgusted, like there was something wrong with me, and I would crawl deeper into the hole I had dug for myself, soothing myself with my hurt feelings. But you know what? My loved ones didn't do that to me. I did it to myself. I'm the one who took it personally, their reaction. Who wouldn't react that way to literally being buried with a scoop of dirt from a backhoe? Imagine it for real. I'm driving the backhoe. I just dumped a huge scoop of dirt onto that loved one's head. They're knocked to the ground, but instead of sympathizing with them, I get hurt at their reaction. It's hilarious, isn't it? Think about it. Be able to laugh about it. I laugh now, but in order to laugh, I had to change my perspective. Yes, we are too much, but we take ourselves too seriously in it. We have to be able to laugh at ourselves, recognize when we are too much, and just laugh in the moment. Recognize when you've done it and just laugh. When you start laughing at yourself, you will be shocked how that will change things for you. We are too perfectionistic in how we see ourselves. Start laughing at yourself. Start taking yourself less seriously. Being able to laugh at yourself is going to be one of the best gifts you can give yourself. I actually have a loved one who lovingly mocks me for how I present myself here. He quotes me from my videos when I say, "My dear INFJ," and he laughs at me. But guess what? It is hilarious. It is truly funny. If you only knew me in real life and see what this loved one sees, you would laugh too. Obviously, I take myself seriously here for understandable reasons. But that's because, as I've said from the very beginning, my mission here is not for you to know me, it's for you to know you. But if you were to know me in real life, I'm not always the beautiful, soothing, angelic voice that makes perfect sense and has all her thoughts together. Quite the contrary. And it's wonderful to have someone I know who loves me and who can poke fun at me in such a way. It teaches me to not take myself so seriously, because I do take myself seriously and will continue to do so. But being aware of it makes me feel lighter. It makes me smile. And now I can crack myself up when I catch myself doing it. It's fun to laugh at yourself. It makes you feel lighter than air and makes you float, which is truly a relief for us because we're usually dragging around on the ground in our seriousness. Now, to give you even more food for thought, more things to consider. To come to the conclusion that others do not understand you is not entirely true. You need to be honest here for your own sake. Again, let's empathize with that loved one. Do you honestly think that you should be intense and overwhelming and always expect the other to tolerate it any more than you would always tolerate their insert whatever exhausting behaviors they exhibit here? Be honest. See yourself. Answer this question for me. Do you exhaust yourself? Do I exhaust myself? Yes, absolutely. Do you need a break from yourself? Do I need a break from myself? Yes, absolutely. My own mother said this all the time about herself. And there was a good reason this saying has stuck with me through the years. And now I say it to myself. I get on my own nerves. I can drive myself crazy, tire myself out, and for self-preservation, I must give myself a break from myself. I need to get away from my own thoughts, so to speak. Sometimes I fall asleep in exhaustion, having thoroughly overwhelmed myself and worn myself out. Sometimes I have to choose to shut it down, take a walk, do something relaxing so I can escape my own mind. So why can't you extend that courtesy to others? Why is it you can give yourself a break, but someone else is not allowed that? Why is it that someone else must put up with the intensity without needing a break from time to time? This ties into expectations. I don't think we are realistic in the expectations we set up for other people in our lives. And we aren't honest in our expectations of ourselves either. Let's be honest in that as well. Why do you need alone time if you are in relationship with another? Is one of the reasons because you need a break from some of their exhausting behaviors? So to criticize another for being overwhelmed by your overwhelmingness and not allowing them to have the same reaction when you are overwhelmed by their exhausting behaviors is a bit hypocritical. Again, expectations. Unrealistic expectations can be a very dangerous thing and something I will be speaking more about very soon. I know the signs now of impending intensity. And I find during times like this, I have a choice. I can choose to bury the loved one in my molten lava, or I can hit the record button and spew all over the recorder instead. It's a judgment call, and it's a communication thing as well. Ask yourself when you are getting ready to unload, do you really need someone to truly listen, or do you just need a sounding board? I find that a lot of the times, in what truly is an intense moment, I just need to sound off. Like I said in my last video, I need to hit the tennis ball against the wall. The wall can be a loved one or the recorder. But before you sound off, learn to communicate. Tell yourself that what comes out might not make sense to the other person. Tell yourself that it's okay to be intense. Tell yourself that you have the right to be you. If you love yourself, you will do this for you. Tell yourself there's a reason for lava, for storm winds, for flowing water, for blowing steam out. The reason is clarity, peace of mind, cleansing, releasing thoughts and feelings, putting them out there and seeing what happens. You need it. Then tell the other person what you need. Tell them you just need them to be an ear. Tell them your thoughts might not make any sense to them, but you just need to voice them out loud. Tell them you aren't looking for advice or for a solution or for their thoughts. Unless you are, then tell them this. Tell them you need to release the lava, unleash the storm winds, let that water flow, blow the steam out. If they love you, they will do this for you. And then afterwards, take a deep breath. Laugh at yourself. Laugh hard at yourself. And then admire your intensity. Revel in your crazy and nutty and extreme and impassioned and zealous and beautiful expressions. But don't let the moment pass. Do something with all that releasing. There are amazing thoughts within. Don't let the moment go to waste. Because with some work, what comes out of that intensity can be refined into something which helps you. And then it can be put out there into the world, honed in such a way so those words can make a difference in others' lives as well.